Hi guys, welcome to the channel, and as you guessed it from the title of the video, I want to talk to you about Claymore and a problem which I've been having for a while, and that is the Watchdog GPU hangs in OpenCL call exit. The reason I want to actually cover this problem it's because I had this issue with my first rig, the Sapphire Nitro RX 470 8GB rig. I managed to fix the problem. Probably there is still some work to be done in there, but I just simply don't have the time at the moment to look into it more in details, but I have managed to fix the problem. But the reason I actually decided to make the video because yesterday, out of the blue, I had the same problem with my latest rig, the MSI RX 580 8GB rig. So I decided to make this video, and hopefully if you guys are having the same problem, this video will help you out to fix the problem, or at least gives you some indication where the problems could be coming from, and try to resolve it. Now what I'm talking about is when the Claymore is mining, like in here, what happened is at a certain point this message comes on and it says Watchdog GPU. In my case, with the I had a problem with the card number 4, but obviously 4 is here number 3, so it was coming up as the Watchdog GPU 3 hangs in OpenCL call exit. Now initially I actually didn't know what was happening. I've just discovered that the Claymore was restarting, but I didn't actually know what was happening. So in order to find out, what I did was, the easiest thing obviously is to disable Watchdog. So all I had to do in the command, it's -wd0 space 0, and that disabled the Watchdog. So therefore, once the Watchdog was disabled, when the problem occurred, as you can see here in this line, the GPU is working, but then GPU 3 hangs, and it gives me 0 mega hashes, and I get the message once the Watchdog is disabled. I get the message Watchdog GPU 3 hangs in OpenCL call, you need to restart miner. However, because the Watchdog is disabled, the miner doesn't restart itself and it keeps going on. But at least that way you can see if you are having the same problem as me, and also you can see which GPU is giving you the problem. Now once I've established it, the problem is coming obviously from the GPU, I started to look into details and see what is possibly causing the problem. Now the first thing I did was to obviously I told the problem is coming from the riser, so I started to test the riser. I took it out and put it in another GPU, and the problem so I swapped the risers between the GPU that had the problem with another one, and the problem occurred again with the same GPU, so therefore I knew it wasn't coming from the riser. Next thing I did, so if you are guys having this problem, look and see if your riser is, the problem could be coming from the riser, and that's why I'm going to tell you the different things that I've checked and what finally fixed the problem for me. The next thing obviously I looked in was did I have enough virtual memory, which should be set to 16 GB. I did have enough, so that meant that the problem wasn't coming from there. So the next obvious thing was, of course, to look for undervolting or overclocking. Now at that point I did not have my cards bias modded, so therefore it wasn't really coming from the modification of the bias, but I did have, and I'll show you, let me open it for you. So if I no, I need to open the other one because yep, right here. So what I did in that, I had the, let me get it, yep, Sapphire Tricks. So I had the memory clock in the GPU clock change. So as you can see here, guys, I have the GPU clock change to 1150 and memory clock to 2070, and I've got it undervolted to 96. Now this GPU is working fine, however I'm having an issue with this one here. Now as you saw in the Claymore, it's under GPU 3, but here is this one, and as you can see, it's the way I fixed my problem is I've just resetted the settings as they come from the box, and this is the only GPU currently working as standard settings at GPU clock 1206 and memory clock at 2000 without undervolting it. Now this fixed the problem for me, guys. At that point, since if obviously putting back the the settings to what they were as the card came from the box, everything's been working fine, and I'll show you the other GPUs. As you can see, they're all been changed and they've all been BIOS modded. The only one I did not BIOS modded is the one that I'm having an issue that I've just shown you, but that fixed the problem for me, guys. So if you're having this problem, you can try to do the same. Try to obviously find out first of all, because as you see in the Claymore, the card is under GPU 3, but in here it's let's say card number 2. So you have to find out which card is under the Sapphire Tricks is the one that is giving you the problem, that is hanging, and then you can do restore the settings as they come from the box and see if that will fix the problem for you. Now another thing you can obviously do if as well that you can look into is sometimes what it helps is to put in the Claymore command, put as well this command dash gser space 2, and also put dash eres. Now that I know for some people have fixed the problem, but then again it may not for you, but this is obviously different options that you can explore and see if it works out for you. Another thing of course you can do is to try different GPU drivers. So you may want to install, let's say, an earlier version of the drivers rather than the latest. I know some people have reported that this has also fixed the problem for them, or you may also change the Claymore version, so therefore you can again, let's say, install an earlier version. Again, I know some people have managed by installing an earlier version of Claymore to fix the problem for themselves. Finally, this is one that will obviously be the if you have to do this, obviously it will take the longest, and that is to reinstall the Windows again, fresh, start from the beginning, and see if this fixed the problem. Now, if you do manage, guys, to fix, if you are having that problem, if you do manage to fix it from the things I've just shown you, by the way, let me show you something in here as well, guys. So this is the rig 580, and this is the rig yesterday I had the same issue, and as I said already, guys, this is why I decided to make this video, because the same thing occurred, but in this case I had the problem with GPU 5 for some reason. I don't know how, because I never changed it myself. Now these cards are BIOS modded, so they've been flashed, and also the GPU and the memory clock has also been changed, and they've all been undervolted. However, when I've came into just to check on the rig via the team viewer, as you see, that's how I'm doing it. I've discovered the same problem, which was this, as I said, Watchdog GPU at that point was 5 hangs in OpenCL co-exit. However, since I had this problem already with my first rig, I already had set the Watchdog disable. Now I have the Watchdog disable on all the rigs, which helps me if I do have this issue to obviously spot it and see which GPU is giving me the problem, and then obviously investigate. So as soon as I discovered having the same problem with this rig, I came to the Sapphire because I knew I flashed them. My cards were flashed, and also I've been the GPU and the memory and the undervolts have been changed. So obviously I looked into which card is giving me the problem, and it was this one here. And what was happening, actually this card has resetted itself to the to the settings that they come from the box, but the GPU voltage was all the way down to -4, and this what was creating the problem for me. So all I had to do, of course, is just to reset the settings again, In fact, what I did to be safe than sorry, because for some reason, actually, yeah, just now remembered, it wasn't giving me the option to change the settings. It kept giving me a message that I can't do it because it will be dangerous. It will damage the card, something like that. So what I did, I restart the Windows. At that point, I opened AT Flash. I programmed the original BIOS. I then obviously restarted the Windows again. I then modified the BIOS again. I restarted the Windows, and then I came to the Sapphire tricks. I did this, as you can see, the GPU, the memory, and the undervoltage, and since then has been working perfectly. I don't know how come the undervoltage has gone all the way down to 4, and obviously this gone back to standard, but it had happened. But the good thing is that I had the watchdog disabled, so I spotted it quite quickly, and obviously I rectified the problem. So this is again, guys, a problem that I think a lot of people are having, especially if you're new to building a mining rig and mining. You may be experiencing this problem and don't know what to do. So hopefully this video will help you out. Now, one other thing, guys, I can advise you is to put the watchdog into disable. The reason actually I do that, not just because I can spot that I'm having a problem, but also if, let's say, you are not at home and this occurs, just like with my rig, the 580 rig that happened yesterday. If I wasn't at home and I didn't know, and obviously if you are out at work or whatever and you can't really check on your rig, you may not be able to spot that is occurring. And if you don't have the watchdog disabled, what will happen is the miner will restart itself, and a lot of times it will start mining. So it will mine, let's say, for 10 minutes, 1 hour. You know, the hanging of the card could happen after 10 minutes, after 5 minutes, after an hour, after 10 hours. So you never really know when could actually this happen. But when it happens, the miner will restart if the watchdog is not disabled, and sometimes it will obviously begin mining, but then the next time if it restarts, the Claymore may freeze and actually stop mining. And that could be crucial, guys, because again, as I said, if you are unable to check on your miner for a while, you may not, you could be somewhere else and not having an internet connection, different reasons obviously. And if you are unable obviously to check on your miner, let's say for a couple of hours, few hours, 5, 10, whatever a day, that means your miner would not be mining, because obviously, as I mentioned, Claymore could freeze, and I know that's what was happening to me as well, and that's how I initially spotted the problem, because the miner would freeze, and then when I come out, see, the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, why did that stop? And all I did was obviously click the X and start again, it was all working. But then, because I was so new, I didn't know what I was doing, and then again the same problem. And as I said, this is how it all started, and I've mentioned what I did and how I did it. So going back to the watchdog, if you don't disable it, and if Claymore freezes, you could lose valuable hours for the miner not to be mining. However, if you have the watchdog disabled, if the card hangs, let's say GPU 5 hangs, the miner will continue to mine, and this is why you get this message. So where was it? Right here. So the miner, as you can see, it's saying it's 0. However, it's not restarting. So you can see here 0, 0. But the actual miner is not restarting, is continue working without this GPU. So obviously, as you can see, I'm only pulling 140 mega hashes, let's say, rather than 167 or so. But at least it's mining rather than completely stopping. It keeps obviously displaying this message: Watchdog GPU 3 hangs in OpenCL code. You need to restart a miner. However, it's not restarting itself. It continues mining. So if you haven't spotted this for 5-10 hours, you only lost the mega hashes from the actual GPU, but not the whole rig. I think this is a very valuable lesson if you are obviously having this problem, or if you want to prevent possibly from this happening to you, and obviously for the whole rig stopping to work. Because again, as I said, since fixing my Sapphire Nitro RX 470, I didn't have this problem with any, with that rig or with my other two rigs. But yesterday, out of the blue, this have occurred, and luckily, I'd say for myself, I had the watchdog disabled. The rig kept mining and mining, and when I spotted it, that the GPU has hanged, I fixed the problem as I mentioned already, and now it's been working ever since perfectly, as you can see, for over a day now. So there you have it, guys. Hopefully this video does help you out if you are having this issue. By the way, if you are having the issue and you are unable to fix it even after what I've explained to you, feel free to obviously message me. I try to help you out, and hopefully we can resolve the problem. Try to do obviously everything I've mentioned to you, all the options and everything. Look through all the problems I've listed to you. Hopefully it will be one of those. 99% it will fix the problem, any of those cases, and of course I advise you to disable the watchdog. However, if you have experienced a different the same problem but have managed to fix it because it was something else rather than the things I've listed, feel free also to share it with me and everybody else in the comment section so we can all learn from each other, guys. And if you know why my RX, because now as I've just shown to you guys, my RX 470, that GPU is not, I haven't changed the GPU memory and the memory clock, and also I haven't undervolted it, so it's mining as standard. If you think that I can do something to fix it, feel free obviously to help me out and tell me how I can possibly try to fix it. But as I said, I haven't really looked into it so much because I've been busy for the last few weeks. So I'm happy, because the difference is just 3 mega hashes, so it's not that bad. If I had obviously the problem with the whole rig, I would definitely put more attention to it, but at the moment I'm only losing about 3 mega hashes, so it's not too bad. As long as the rest is, the whole rig is in general working, I'm happy with it. So there you have it, guys. I think a really helpful video for people who really don't know what to do and they're experiencing this problem. I know a lot of people are experiencing this problem. I have read a lot of forums, and it looks like it's definitely an issue which is occurring a lot. So I do hope this video does help you out, and again, feel free to share with me anything in the comment section, guys, so we can continue helping each other. Well, thank you for watching, guys. If you do enjoy my channel, feel free to subscribe and share. And yeah, thank you for supporting me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.